Okay, hi, it's Linda here at the HCP, and today we're going to talk about planting bulbs in the garden. The weather's still nice, so it's certainly not too late to plant bulbs. We have a nice selection here, and the first one I'll show you is crocus. They're one of the first things to bloom early in the spring, usually mid to late January here. Of course, depends on the weather, but that's usually the first one you'll see popping up. And this happens to be a mixture of all different colors in the one package. One important thing is when you're buying bulbs to make sure you actually read the package. All the information you need is on that package. And if I can turn it around, I'll show you here. It basically tells you the height of the bulb when it blooms, which is 6 inches, the depth that you planted, which is 2 to 3 inches, and the depth, the length between each bulb is about 2 inches. Again, it's on every package, so it's important to remember to look at that. Also, the main difference with all the bulbs is their blooming time, and again, that is always shown on the package. Like I said, the crocus are early, then you'll get into a mid-season, which are things like the hyacinth. These tulips are mid-season, and so is this little species tulip, that's a mid-season. And then there's a mixture of narcissus here, which is early and mid. And then there's a late blooming tulip. And again, like I say, it's always on the package, so make sure you read the label. What they do nowadays is they actually take a lot of the difficulty out of deciding what combinations go well together because they're pre-mixed in a package. This happens to be quite a nice mixture. It's just 2 different colors, but again, they complement each other, and it works great. They bloom at the same time, so you know exactly what colors you're getting. With the mixture, I mean, they're always nice colors, but again, you don't know exactly how many of which color you're getting. You might get more yellow than white, but again, that's the chance you get when you get a mixture. So what I want to do is I want to show you about how I've sort of started laying them out here in the bed. The first thing to do would be to scatter down a slow-release fertilizer, something like bulb booster or bone meal, and I would just scatter that down just in the bed before I plant, just to give them a good base to root well. Again, what I've done is I've set out some narcissus here, but again, it could be the same with no matter what bulb you're planting. Now, if I can find my trowel. Sorry, Gary. Oh, here it is. So basically in general, remember, when you buy new bulbs this time of year, the flower part of the portion of the bulb is already in there, so it's going to bloom no matter what you do. The key thing to getting bulbs to bloom year after year is to make sure you fertilize them well in the spring, just when they're fading away, when their flowers are finishing, with a high phosphorus fertilizer. So again, I tend to like to put them in groupings of at least 7 or 9. More, to me, more the merrier, especially with something small like crocus. I'll often put 30 or 50 in a grouping. So once you do, you put these out, you plant them. The normal rule is 2 times the diameter of the bulb, so this would go down about 6 to 8 inches. So again, you just get your trowel, dig your bulb, dig your hole, pointy end up, poke it in, and cover it up. So once I have all those planted, what I would do then is I would come around with my winter blooming annuals, and that would give us some extra color. Here I have some nice little violas, and here I have wallflower. So again, I would just basically, once they're planted, I would just tuck these in all around that area, in amongst the existing perennials. And that will give us a nice show. These will look good all winter, even before the bulbs start to show their faces. And that way you'll have color in there, even when when the weather is poor. These tend to bloom, the wallflower, they'll bloom now until, gosh, probably late April. So they'll give you constant color, as well as the pansies and violas. So don't think that there's not anything you can have color with in the winter. There certainly is. Just check out your local garden centers, and there's still lots of color there. So as far as once you do get all this planted, what I tend to do is, if you do use a mulch, you can mulch right over that with a bark mulch. We usually just have leaf mulch here, so I usually put a nice layer of leaf mold on that, and that way they get nice, they're protected for the winter. And basically that's it. So the big thing is to remember, choose a variety of bulbs, choose early, mid, and late, so you'll have consecutive blooming, and again, choose the colors that you prefer. And basically, that's it. Enjoy the good weather.